Hello, I'm Get the Cans, and it's been a while since I've made a video. Most recently, I ran out of money when I tried to find some work in Vancouver, and unfortunately came up with nothing and used what little amount of money that I did have to survive for the 3 weeks that I was out there. And although I will never really know real hunger like the many homeless in Vancouver, at least I know that it's pretty scary when you get really close to it. Well, I don't know if that means anything, but anybody out there that's been homeless would know much more about that subject than me, but I don't ever want to get anywhere close to that level of poverty. But anyways, I'm in a new location now. Somebody's taken me in, and it's good to have somebody to support you there in your times of need. And unfortunately, people in Scientology are disconnected from their families, so I imagine that if they're living in their poverty-stricken houses, wherever they may be, in Vancouver or even across the world, that they may not necessarily have the backup that I was able to have when things got tough for me. So I really feel for the people in this global time of need, really. Most recently, in France, there was this weird court thing going on. Its outcome will decide whether or not Scientology, as an organization, is allowed to exist within France. And one of the things that I'll post a link, but one of the things that was in this report that I was watching was when the little reporter there, I never caught his name. I could probably look it up, but I'm on camera right now, so I think I'll skip that step. Is that he was asked, he addressed with the whole thing where people will often think that we are criticizing and protesting Scientology because of its strange beliefs. Well, the fact is, it doesn't really matter what they believe. It really doesn't matter at all, to be honest. There's a lot more strange beliefs out there, trust me. But the problem isn't that it's a strange belief. The problem is that it uses what influence and power that it has to hurt its own members, as well as people outside that may criticize them, despite whether or not that criticism may be harmless or not, to the point where they drive people like me to go out of their way to make a protest. So it's kind of funny that they bring this upon themselves, and by attacking the attackers, they end up creating more attackers. It's pretty funny. But I'm really going to be interested in seeing the outcome of that, so hopefully a few of you out there will pay attention to that as well. Let's see, Zimu TV put up a video stating a few things, why he doesn't like Anonymous and things like that. He's saying that the only way that the church is going to reform, there's a bunch of various things, but I think what it all boils down to is the fact that he sees Anonymous, the organization or group of individual critics that gather. I'm not necessarily anonymous myself, but I do gather with these people in order to protect myself, to be amongst the masses anonymously, so that I can't be identified and singled out and attacked like previous critics in past protests have been. So, but saying that Anonymous is too aggressive, well, I'm not exactly sure what to say to that. He shows videos, assuming it's just the one person, of Scientologists attacking back after Anonymous members, gather around and say things and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, what we're doing is relatively harmless, and considering the fact that most protests usually only last about 4 or 5 hours, I don't really understand why they feel the need to get overly aggressive to the point where they resort to physical assaults. But then again, they aren't exactly of a complete psychological state such that they can make a good decision necessarily. Also, the fact that they are quite riled up all the time by the organization itself to think that critics are some kind of murderous and evil band of people, when in fact we're just regular folks. I mean, really. But I don't know. I mean, we've been doing things for about a year now, and unfortunately, the only people, well, unfortunately for Scientology, of course, the only people that have been very vocal in this that I'm aware of, correct me if I'm wrong, is Scientology itself. So it really goes to, it really begs the question as to exactly how bad are we getting? I don't believe that things are getting so bad that people need to step in or anything like that. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, we're kind of just doing our own thing that we've been doing for the last year, which is, celebrating the freedom of speech outside of the organization which squelches and crushes and destroys such beliefs. So anyways, out there, Good on everybody for continuing the good fight. I'm sorry that I have been unable to post videos on a regular enough basis. Unfortunately, probably over the past few days, I've just been able to get my computer up and running now. With the process of me moving from my old location to my new location, as well as the fact that I've been focusing a lot of my time on trying to cover a lot of this debt. I can not drown in my own misfortune of not having a job for 3 weeks and eating up all my reserves. So I hope that the recession out there is treating a lot of you a lot better than it treated me. Although I'm still very fortunate enough to be able to say that I've got a place to stay and I've got some food on my plate, even if it's not necessarily as much as I would like. It's definitely enough to keep me alive. And I really feel for you out there, anyone who may have disconnected from your family, may have decided to stop seeing them for whatever reason you were told to believe, instead of the reason that you believe yourself. So hopefully that things work out well for you, so that nothing terrible happens to you that almost happened to me. So anyways, so I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'll have something more interesting to say next week. So see you around.